Welcome to another Wonders Wealth. This time we're going to be talking more on the collecting value side of the house. And we're going to bring in two special guests. The first one being Cardio Mitch. And then we're going to talk to him a little bit about his experience at the Shattering. They did a bunch of streaming and breaking while they were there. So we're going to discuss that, what his takeaways were and what he thought would happen versus what did happen. And then we're going to bring Hawkewind into the group, and we're going to talk more about value, sealed, unsealed, what they think things are going to be going for, what people are going to be hunting down, all of that good stuff. And I have my trusty sidekick Tex with me. What's up, Tex?
Oh, nothing. I'm just still basking in the afterglow of the Shattering. It was wonderful, and just waiting for my Kickstarter to arrive so I can start ripping and deciding what I'm going to do with everything. Yep.
I don't know, but maybe after this show you won't rip
right.
as
Maybe
much
everything
as
will just maybe everything will just stay sealed and become my retirement fund.
Yes. All right. Let what?
We got to bring up Cardio Mitch.
Yes, I know.
Come up here.
Without further ado,
Mitch,
the man, the myth, the legend.
How are y'all doing? Thank y'all so much for having me. I know this is weird.
I found Mitch on a bunch of Whatnot streams, and it was so cool to meet him in person because he is such a mellow and understated guy. He's really enjoyable to have a nice chill hang with.
Yeah. You might be the first person who's ever said those words in regards to me. I love that. Thank you, Tex. That's so exactly Mitch, what I was going for.
How was the Shattering for you? How'd you?
It was it was incredible. I had no idea what to expect. In the 20 years that I've been in the TCG hobby, I've been to plenty of events, and I think the level of anticipation and excitement and just general goodwill that was present throughout the entirety of the 3-day event, it was kind of surreal. It's really hard to describe. I've never seen a harder working team in the TCG hobby. I've seen a lot of the opposite, actually. And I've worked with, I don't know how many different developers and designers at this point. It's always very standoffish, very Bilbo Baggins, it's mine, type of perspective, as opposed to what was exuded, which was like, we're so thrilled. The team just exhibiting that we're so thrilled everybody's here. We want to make sure this is the most incredible experience. And I think they did such a good job with that. I'm sure you guys would agree. I know you guys had a good time. I was there with you the whole time.
Yeah,
we definitely had a good time. It was good. Yeah, it was a blast. I mean, it was just a blast. I did not anticipate having as much fun as it was, and also the product. I mean, holy Jesus! Like, Wonders is just incredible. We've only had one Wonders break since the Shatter. I know it's Wednesday, right? So how many can you really fit? Ideally, I would like to have. I want to break it every day, and pretty soon, once we also have our product allocation, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be breaking Wonders 3 to 5 times a week minimum. Like, it's going to be sweet. And I think that's actually, the more I think about it, the fact that we will be breaking Wonders, we will be breaking it, will certainly have an impact on the sealed market for sure.
And I just want to know from your perspective. So everyone got there around Friday, and we had all day Saturday. We had the tournament. So you guys, no one had real product to rip. So you guys were streaming, but still nothing in hand, nothing really going on. And then Saturday night hits, and you guys were up on the podium on the main stage, and you finally got to rip some of the packs and the products. And I want to know, obviously you were like probably jumping out of your skin to actually have some to finally, to do that. But were you surprised Were you surprised at the participation on stream and the excitement from, the comments in there and the pricing and all how that all went? How was that versus what you kind of anticipated versus reality?
So I was anticipating a hype, right? Of course, it's release day. Essentially, it's the release weekend, but it's a bit unique. I think it played even more to the pre-release side of your in any of the big three TCGs. The pre-release weekends are always they're pretty hyped, right? Um, but I think this outpaced any TCG I've ever seen as far as the just the raw hype, the visceral almost desire to get their hands on product, even if it's virtually, right? Because we're ripping for people live
Mhm.
on location where we are. We still have to ship them their stuff, right? Of course. So, but they know that whatever we rip, that's their stuff. They essentially get to participate while not being able to make it. It was really cool, and I was almost overwhelmed by it. We saw some absolute wild price points uh,
Yeah.
throughout all streams, both Saturday night and Sunday night. I mean, just absurd price points, right? I of course there's going to be a leveling, but given how much I don't know how to describe it, almost mania there
Mhm.
is behind the Wonders release week. Just in the past stream, I didn't see a whole lot of calming down. Um, Even though everyone knows, right, your fulfillment's coming, it's imminent, the
Mhm.
product's going to get to you, it's going to happen. And I definitely think people are going to struggle to keep this product sealed, to say the very least. And just watching what happened Saturday night. So you actually alluded to it already. We consigned, so we had several tables around us that ripped. I think there were maybe 3 or 4 stone foils ripped across the night. Two, two of those were walked up to my table, and he was like, "Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens."
Mhm.
And it was wild. We saw a comp on, I think it was the Starhorn Capra. I think that's a common. I
Mhm.
believe that's a common stone foil. Which of course it's still a one of one, but it's a common card, so it's not even going to be. It's nowhere near the height of what we'd see for a one of one stone foil, right? It went for a K and a half live
That's
the night
wild.
of release. Like, what a comp. Yeah, I haven't seen a modern Magic card achieve that
Mhm.
outside of the three one of one Elven rings for Magic the Gathering, right? That's the closest comp that I could find for a trading card game single. It
Wow.
was, yeah, it was incredible. I had no words. It was ridiculous. It was,
It's amazing. Now, in the 2 streams, have you noticed, are you getting people obviously, you're getting a ton of people from within the community.
yeah.
Have you noticed you're attracting people from outside the community, or do you think it's still a little too early?
Oh, I don't think it's too early at all. And there are so many reasons why. I can start with just raw viewership.
Mhm.
So we max promote every stream. So we essentially, we pay the man for his time, right? So we pay the
Mhm.
platform as much as they'll let us. Which, I mean, in all honesty, really isn't that much relative to stream revenue and performance. It's
Mhm.
100% worth it. If you're out there streaming, I'd strongly recommend promoting. I think it can make a big difference. That and don't be frugal or stingy with your giveaways. Just stay with the giveaways. It keeps people interested. They're like, wow, they're just giving so much free stuff away. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Um, I've I can't just in the last just across the weekend, and then again on Tuesday. I believe it was Tuesday yesterday that we did the Wonder Stream. Yeah, I've seen several Magic the Gathering converts. So what we do is we categorize
Oh.
the show inside the Magic the Gathering category. And one of my
Oh.
favorite KPIs to track, that's all because of Chris. Chris pointed this out, and I've just been just loving the fact that we're obliterating Magic the Gathering on the platform. Every stream. We are destroying them in viewership. In fact, our viewership for Wonders is in the top 5 of all TCG streams viewership. The top 4
Wow.
being Pokemon streams. Yeah. So we have toppled, essentially, Wonders has toppled Magic on the platform, which is incredible. And we're getting Magic the Gathering fans in and curious. And we've chatted with on multiple streams across all three, both Saturday night, Sunday night, and
Mhm.
Tuesday. Uh, Magic the Gathering collectors and players who are like, what is this? and then they'll win a pack, because we give away a pack every 5 minutes. We're giving away collector's packs of Wonders every 5 minutes, just to make sure cards get in hands, people can see this and experience it. And I think what's really cool, so obviously Brian Tinsman is just brilliant, just raw brilliance. And
he's the game creator. They're co-creator,
exactly.
for anyone that's not familiar.
Thank you for prefacing with that. I was like, the essentially the lead designer of the entire game is itself, in and of itself. I think his creation of this game mechanically is really going to pique interest, because I've been playing Magic for 20 years, and there's never been, and I've played tons of new TCGs throughout those 20 years. There's never been one. Not if Star Wars Unlimited didn't grab me like this, and I love Star Wars. So I think it's a testimony to how every facet of this game is perfect for evangelizing other TCG players. And it's showing on our stream.
Yeah, very interesting. To
go
continue
ahead,
on
Fran.
the whole, I was going to say, to continue on the whole, the value prop, and whether we want to do sealed, unsealed, singles, what people are chasing. Let's see if we can bring in Hawkewind.
There he is.
There
Hey,
he is.
Hawkewind. Nice hat.
Yeah.
Love your hat.
Thank you. Thank you. And my shirt.
Oh, and your shirt, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, he's
full
got
wrap.
Actually, you know what? Oh, I have my shattering
Put that-
shirt on.
Oh, he has a shattering shirt on.
Dude, that's an awesome tee. The shattering shirt's so good.
Yeah, Tess, is it cold there? All right, let's continue on.
It's Syracuse, New York. It's always cold here, unless it's like July. Sorry, Hawkewind, take it away.
Yeah, so Hawkewind, you were not live at the shattering, but I know you were probably in some of the streams and watching what was going on and hearing what was going on. So, from your perspective, what's your kind of takeaway from the event?
It was hectic. I could see people were overstimulated, and that they were
some were also overserved.
That was a given from the beginning. I mean, that was anticipation. And they everyone there seemed to be split. They were split between opening and collecting and tournament. And then the third factor was actually meet and greet. And then with meeting other players, other people in Discord for the first time, and for reuniting. So you got three factors all going in at once, and that made it very disarrayed for people. So it was the focus was not there, and I assumed that was going to happen, but it was really hard. The tournaments are what threw it up. There was a lot of time spent into the tournaments, which makes sense, but there was a lot of product to rip for people. So you put those two factors in, with then a lot of friendships being formed and already formed, and it was like this, like from an outsider point of view, watching videos. So it was fun, but and you've heard it over and over from people posting in Discord and talking. There's a lot of FOMO going on, and a wee bit of jealousy. So those are the things that, from an outsider point of view,
we had a great time.
Yeah, and good for you guys.
So Hawkewind, where do you stand on the collectability of this? And are you a rip guy, or are you a hold guy? A hold seal guy?
I'll save that part. But let's talk about what I think. So with that said, there's two questions that were asked just yesterday and today on Discord that I saw. One of them was, where do we think booster sealed box will be in a year, value-wise? So that depends on a couple of factors. One is how popular will Wonders still be, both collectability and playability. So this is something TCG brings into it, which is a little different. CCG, that's card collecting, right? That's the difference between trading card. So this card collecting is a little bit different. How popular will it be from the collectible standpoint, and how popular from the playability standpoint? So I'm going to assume that's going to be good. We're having another release in October for the second set. and the possibility is open for 2 years of reprinting the first existence set, but not with the, most likely, as I heard it, not with the first edition stamp. That's for the OCM, formless foil, and for the stone foil. Those have the little nice in the bottom left-hand corner first edition stamp. So the ones that we're talking about right now, and the question was, how much will a sealed booster box be in a year? I'm pretty sure they're not reprints, by the way. I want to clarify that. I think I said that wrong. It's just that it's open to be able to print the first existence set. There is no reprints ever within Wonders of the First. So I want to clarify that. So I think the booster box is going to retain, not just retain value, it's going to increase quite a bit for sealed. You're going to see the market dry up. Why? I think what you saw at the shattering is just going to perpetuate. And what was that? Rip. So you have a limited amount of inventory that was set with the first edition symbol for those formless foils, OCMs, and stone foils. Those are drivers or chase cards that are going on. You have a very limited quantity of boxes or booster boxes, and you have a massive amount being ripped open to be able to go after those chase cards for both collections, playability, and for people that want to just store them for value. It's sealed. So all of a sudden your market's going to just dry up, so that you're going to have very few on the market as time goes on, especially 3 months plus from now. So I think it's going to, this is my own personal opinion. This is not investment talk at all. This is just what I think. I think you're going to look at three to four times the amount of value in 1 year is what you're going to get for a sealed booster box. So that's question number one. What do you guys think? Any opinions?
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually think there's plenty of precedents. I think we might, if anything, we're just going to see continuing rips 100%. And that's going to continue driving FOMO. That's going to continue driving people to closet their product, to hold on to it like shit. Everyone's ripping their boxes. And that's the optics. That's what everyone's going to see. And for sure from us, because we're going to be ripping for as long as we can. We have zero intention to hold product. Yep. So as much as we get, and we will also be buying secondhand market, we will be ripping. And I think that's going to, if anything, that's just going to encourage the diamond hands hodlers to keep hodling.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. And I want to say this, some people really don't like breakers. That's just a known fact, and we're not going to hide it. And one of the reasons they don't like breakers, one of the bigger reasons, is because they actually buy up inventory to open. And so the investors like it because it has their investment in a closet that's sealed, really helps to drive the value up. People that want to get product don't necessarily like it because they can't buy it at a rate that's lower than what they want to buy it at. So I just want to point it out. Some people really don't like breakers. Other people love it. And a lot of people like to watch it. But we're aware of that, right? It's just something that it's not for everyone. I just want to point that out. And I agree with you, Mitch, on that part. The second question I think is really interesting. I feel very strongly about it. If someone has a case of booster boxes and they want to actually keep it for investment purposes and keep it for, like, say 3 years, and then want to sell it after 3 years, should they open it to see if they have a quill box in there, or should they keep it sealed to maximize the amount of value that they'll get for their case? I'll start it off. The answer I said, and what I really feel strongly about, is do not open it. Do not. And the reason is that people buy it for the chase. The bigger chase you have in a product that's sealed, the greater the value will always be. Because you have the guarantee potential of getting the chase. And the quill is one of the biggest chases out of this first edition of the existence set, which is the first set coming out. So in a couple years from now, we know it's a low quantity of quill boxes. Someone's going to pay primo dollars for the chance of getting a quill box from a sealed case. Much more than if you pull out a quill box now and even have it and save it alongside the open case. So you still have 6 boxes, one of them a quill, but an open case, and you sell those. And versus selling a sealed case, you're going to get a ton more for that sealed case. I feel strongly. What do you guys think?
Mitch, what's your thoughts?
We actually have a term. I just like to do this to everything we haven't ripped yet. It's Schrodinger's quill, right? That's essentially it. There's simultaneously a quill and not a quill in every single case until you open it.
Mhm.
And funnily enough, because we're human beings, that has intrinsic additive value. Like, I love it so much. I completely agree with Hawkewind. And I think I'll actually be able to demonstrate that throughout the coming month as we rip open cases and we find a quill box live on stream.
I want Schrodinger's quill on a t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
with a
Oh
picture
my
of a
God.
box.
Hey, Mitch, what are you going to do if you open a case and there's a quill box?
So what if I definitely want to do is I want to do a case break battle where we have a sealed case on stream, and we're essentially just going to run a test, right? I'm going to do essentially 5 boxes and a quill box, boom, opened, shown on stream. This is the break spot, guys. And then I'm going to have a sealed case, and I'm going to sell those 6 break spots as a sealed case, and then we're going to break that case together, right? And whoever bought in first gets to pick their box first. So if there's a quill box in that box, in that case, they're going to get to pick the quill box, right? So, and we're going to do a litmus test. It's going to see, and I have a very good feeling that the spots of this sealed case break are going to sell for more.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Now,
are you gonna make them open the quill box?
That was my question.
That's the doozy. If it's a case break and they choose to not break into that case, they rescind from the competition.
Right.
Whatever the prize for that break is, they were like, I'd rather just keep the quill box. You guys can go for the prize. That's actually great for everybody. One, the sealed quill box person gets to keep their sealed quill box. We ship it as is. The 5 people now all individually have a better shot at whatever badass prize we're doing.
At the prize.
Whether it's a mythic formless, or whatever, an OCM mythic or an OCM epic, something really cool.
That works out great for all parties.
Everybody, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think the real question,
if they want to rip
is,
the quill, then they got a quill.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the real question there is, will it be fixed pricing or auction pricing?
So it depends. We're going to do some testing over the coming couple of week or two to see. Essentially, community feedback is hyper important to us. We're very sensitive to how the community responds to how we run auctions and bins. So we're going to test, and whatever we get more positive back from is essentially the direction we're going to go. And obviously there aren't going to be a whole lot of people breaking. I'm just going to say block packs products in general. So we do have a lot of autonomy there on the platform because product is so limited, right? So we have we're busting our asses on the secondhand market. We have we have a guy, he's dedicated to just acquisitions, product acquisition.
Smart.
He's doing really well, man. He's doing a great job. Like, he is absolutely killing it. Like, he told me last night he was just lying in bed on eBay, staring through his phone as the last 10 minutes of an auction ended. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, Mitch, you have my number, and I have some cases.
Mitch,
that's true.
I like how you had to bring up the visual of lying in bed. There wasn't a reason to do it, but you still did. Nice, thank you.
Absolutely.
We're all family here.
Absolutely.
There's no secrets.
Just know, I was going to say, everybody out there competing for product, just know that's the level that not only we, but other people are willing to go to get this product.
Exactly.
Now, Mitch, I can't remember. Were you able to play the game at all? Or
so,
I know
funny story.
Busy.
I was able to play one game, and it was against Bear. So I told
Bear
him,
is one of the artists who's created a lot of the artwork in the series for people
who's
that aren't
also
there.
top 500 competitor for Legends of Runeterra. And I told him I was a competitive card player, and he was like, "Oh, we gotta play. You want to play, mate?" And I was like, "Sure, I'd love to, dude." Been having a blast. So we sat down with 2 pre-constructed decks, and I almost took him, dude. He was sweating.
Really?
He was sweating, and he
Whoa.
was like, he looked at me and said, "I can't have my coworkers know
Yeah.
that I lost."
That you beat me.
But he did end up winning. He did it. To be fair, he did it. It was very, very well played. It was very
Nice.
good. I did get
Yeah.
to play one time. It was great.
Now, do you plan? Are you a collector at all? Do you plan on collecting this, or are you just
Absolutely.
okay?
Absolutely. I'm a Heliosynth fan myself. I know. So
You've
Heliosynth
already
and
got your
Boundless.
orbital. Awesome.
I do. I'm gonna try to build as competitive a Heliosynth Boundless combo as possible. I'm probably gonna lean a little more towards the Heliosynth and supplement with just the absurd power, raw removal power that Boundless gives, and some of the late game dominance they exude. It's crazy how much control and power there is in Boundless. I love it so much. Everybody says that about their own orbitals. I know, but I just really like what Boundless does. And Heliosynth is my aesthetic. Me and Chris both, we just love the aesthetic, right? The whole techno spiritual. It's very Dune, very
Yeah.
very Tatooine, Star Wars, and Dune come together. I love everything about it.
Yep.
It's so good. So yeah, I'm absolutely not only collect. I'm going to try to figure a way to carve time to play this game every month, and I'm going to try to make sure my entire stream team knows how to play Wonders of the First.
Yep.
Shout out to
Perfect.
Joe
Yeah.
Doug. I was like, man, I got to get enough cards to make sure we can all build decks. He was like, dude, I got you. I'm just going to give you his Kickstarter set of starter decks. It was super nice.
Oh wow.
And I was like, dude,
Oh.
you can't do that. He was like, I'm doing it. You can leave them on the table and walk away, or you can take them home.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
Joe
You
Doug,
guys can
great
try
guy.
a good format is Popper. Do you guys know Popper?
oh yeah. Oh God, yes. Oh
So
my
do-
God, Popper's
so
gonna be so
Popper-
good.
John Popper,
Popper-
Blues Traveler.
No,
Oh, okay.
you don't staple anything.
Okay.
So,
Popper is commons only text.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
so everyone can play it as a result. So you could still put grade your mythics, keep all your other stuff separate, just get all your commons, and you can only build a deck of commons. And then
Ah.
you could just do it for fun all the time, and you can equalize so much more as a result from a player that's been playing for a while to not. So you can get your buddies involved. You can do a lot of stuff. That's one that I've already done with my buddies, and it was so much fun putting together a Popper deck. And Popper being P-A-U-P.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, like
Pauper.
someone.
Poor.
Not
Cool.
popper. It's pauper.
Right.
Pauper.
Okay.
Yes. So it's just a little
Tiny
something to
Tim.
mention. Yes, like Tiny Tim.
Look.
All right. So speaking
May I
of that,
have
and trying to
another?
put together decks and doing all that, what do you got if we're talking about singles? So for those people that rip their boxes and now they have these hundreds and hundreds of
Oof.
cards, what should people from the collector point of view,
Let
what should
me-
people be looking out for?
Let me show you. I've already prepped this.
All
So
right.
Let's go into
Love it.
let's go into eBay real quick, and I'm going to describe some things. So let me share my screen. El Guapo's good at this. All right. So first of all, I've been hearing a lot of people, there's not much stuff up for sale on eBay. So let me address some things that people are asking. One is, where do I find this stuff on eBay? There's not much, but you can find it. Type in Wonders of the First. And then the first thing I would do is click on Buy It Now. Second thing I would do, which is really important, is sort by time newly listed. That's really important because you're going to pull up a lot of other crap right now because they're not categorized properly. So when you do that, one of the first things that you find is this $35. It was just put up today at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. This is set to my time, which is Mountain. So you see a $35. Yes, there is actually packs inside this one. There's a few that actually sell them for $35 with no of the 2 regular packs inside, just the starter decks. So this is actually the first regular priced one out there. So there's one for sale. If you scroll down, a dude late last night at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, started putting up, this is all from the same person, started putting up some singles. So these right here are actually paper. That one's a foil, and then these are 2 paper ones. And I want to show you this dragon one. It's a mythic. Look how many, it says 4 watched in the last 24 hours. So that's not a lot of watchers. Usually a really popular one is going to be 30 plus, but you can see $40. And if you take a look at the, you can scroll in, see if my computer will work, and you can look at the edges. Make sure you take a look at the, zoom in to be able to see the edges of it. And this one actually looks relatively good. I know that there's always a little bit of chipping around a black border. It's really hard, but it looks like they've been very forgiving at the grading companies. Topps made an infamous set in 1972 that has black bordering, and they grade those. That's a really nice back. And then you look at the centering if you ever want to get quality. If you and this one looks relatively good. It's a little fat on the left side. So this is $40 though, and no one's bought it yet. And notice they have 2 of them. One thing to always look at when you do this is, which one are you buying? Are you buying this one if you buy one, or are you buying the other one that you don't sight unseen? That's a little bit rough. So right now there is about 1, 2, 3 singles. And then somebody, this is my favorite one. If anyone's been looking on eBay, three days ago or so, this box of collector bundle, and how many are in here, Mitch? Because you guys sell these.
6 packs. We do.
Yeah.
6 packs.
2 days ago, I think it was. This first one up for $500. Same person, same posting.
Wow.
Now you can see what
called
it's at.
FOMO, man. I love it. Gosh.
Yep. It did not sell, so they're down to 180 or best offer. So
it's funny
far.
that's the price, Chris, because that is exactly not only what but also the Zard Exchange Saturday night, or excuse me, I think it was maybe Saturday and Sunday. Bundles were going for around that Saturday and Sunday night. I think they're going to settle closer to 100. I think by the end of the year, they'll probably sit closer to that 140, 150 spot.
I think so too.
But yeah, so this week I think there's still hype. There's still there's some settling going on. People are going to be getting their product. They know it's coming. They're going to be less inclined to jump for that. But as people continue to rip these bundles, because that's exactly what's going to happen to these. The bundles are going to get shredded.
I know,
and that's great. I think it's.
I agree. So
now,
here's another one to look out. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, now, obviously a lot of the hype around this game is coming from, inside the community at the moment, and people buying and stuff are mostly from inside the community. But once this gets, goes into its wide release on Friday, how long do you see before we see a bump from new people that are discovering the game in their, local comic book shops or card shops? Do you see that within a couple months that we see another big bump maybe coming with people that have found it for the game itself and then turn to the collectability of it?
I think so, but what's really the secondary market's going to be really important during that time, especially if there's lots of commons and lots of paper, LOTS, lots. Mm-hmm. So they have to have access on the secondary market to be able to buy up cards to be able to make decks. We're not talking collectors versions of foils and everything. We're talking stuff on secondary market to be able to make multiple types of decks, hand out to their buddies and friends. Also for these bundle, the 6-pack bundles, that's going to be really important too, so they can start playing sealed decks with their buddies or tournaments like local. That's what we do with my buddies on Friday nights. So I think secondary market's going to be really important because it's going to dry up in their local card shops. Again, this is a really limited release. So why I'm showing eBay right now is because it's going to have a high importance coming up. That's my thought, Mitch.
Chris, do you actually? I couldn't help but bring to mind the Target release. I don't recall? I think it was was it March 20? Is it
8th.
March? Is it March 28th? It's in 2
Yeah.
days, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think, Tex, that release, so the Target release is really where we're going to see some performance in
Right.
terms of where the needle gets moved for conversions. I just want to say pedestrian conversions, people just walking through the store, kids walking through, maybe grabbing it. It looks really cool on the shelf. Like it actually stands out on the shelf.
Yeah, it does.
Which I think is so impactful in retail. I can't tell you how many I got a great example. I've always found Flesh and Blood kind of boring on the shelf.
I know.
No detriment to them, but I mean, it's very it's due to design, right? They went for a more, that every set just seems to have a lot more pastels than not. Very.
I'm sorry. Can you show us that again? Can you show us the?
Yeah, this is Tales of Aria right here.
Oh yeah, it's very, very weak coloring.
Yeah, very lackluster.
It's very muted. So they went for like early 90s Magic Gathering kind of vibe, really. And that's cool. And that has a particular niche target, but I don't think that would ever do well in big retail. I want to be, marketing is all about ripping your attention away, and just holding you there. And I think this product does it really well. That's a perfect example. Like Kickstarter,
I will mention, Mitch, at holiday time, Flesh and Blood did do their own standalone end caps and standalone units in Target where it did stand out and they were sold out really well. And that just reinforces what you're saying, though, is when they have that flash, it does sell. So the standout products are what sell. So I agree with you 100%. That's going to be that's going to be the bump is going to be Target. The question now, though, will be how many people will buy it, and then not look for secondary because it'll be in their friends group. It's going to be really interesting. I don't know. That's the surprise part, right?
The cycle. The cycling through your inner group, your inner circle.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. 100%. Because I played Magic forever, and we have boxes still from 1995 and cards, a massive amount, where we just did it for our friends group, and that was it.
That's awesome.
I have massive amounts. So,
God, Jesus Christ.
And I'm so young still. All right. So, one thing I want to point out real quick is people looking on eBay, just be aware of this. You can see where it says no booster packs included. So this is just pre-made deck then. And these aren't the competitive pre-made decks. So this is, and look how many are viewed, 40 of them, 40.
Jesus.
So
that's awesome.
Don't buy this is what my recommendation is. So just be aware.
Just go to Target Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the second thing I want to point out to you is this. Real quick, the next one is look at auctions. So these two right here are auctions for a little, like 3 packs and then one. And it says one of the first 5 foil cards. There's $61 at a bid so far. There's 9 bids. It has about 3 days left. Same over here with one OCM foil card. It's a common, and it has 3 extra packs. Those are actually both Yo-Yo in the community put them up. So I thought I'd mention, shout out to one of our longstanding community members has it up. So those are auctions. And then the final thing I wanted to show you, which I think is ultra important, is one of the first, go to sold listings and make sure you put ended recently. Here you have 2 sold listings. That's it. 2. That's all. And you have the first Emma paper, which is beat to hell.
Yeah.
So I want to show you just real quick how beat up it is. It takes a second to load. And we're going to just zoom in. So you remember I told you to look at the borders? Look at that edge.
Ooh.
Dang.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. Dang is right. So it's pretty beat up. And Emma went for $100. And just so you guys are aware, I look at this all the time, and that thing actually went sold within a couple hours of being up. And
playable.
finally,
I mean, hey, that's a very playable card.
Exactly. Someone bought that to play. I bet you anything, because the damage didn't mean anything to them. Then finally, this one sold. This one sold within less than an hour of being up. Why do you think that is?
Damn, because it's $10.
Yeah.
Nice.
the what?
$10 formless Xenic.
And that's my proof. Holy
Oh, you can Jen. Why weren't you on eBay?
Jen's stocks just went down.
oh.
Poor Jen. Wow.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Right?
Dang.
And it's common, but it's a formless foil. So what do? Here's a little bit of advice. You actually click on the seller of this, and you go and you see what else they sell, and you see if they just posted any other
good ones.
Yeah. And so you see, this is the person that posted these other cards, and you see they learned from their $10 sale that less than, like, I would guess 10 minutes up. They learned right away, and they put these at a higher amount. Right? But you still click on that seller and you look right away to see if you can take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. So those are your eBay tips and what you look for. Any questions, thoughts, guys? Comments?
No, it's great information, Hawkewind. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then I want to mention one thing before I'm done, and then we can go to open questions or talk. Is Mitch, you do a lot of whatnot. Is that correct? We've established that.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I just want to clarify this. You've said that you've done 2 streams of breaking, right? Of
Wonders, it's actually 3. We did Saturday night, Sunday night, and then Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday. So I want to be very clear with the audience, though. There's a lot of people that are watching that don't know about streams or done it. You've actually broken lots of boxes within each of those streams. So it's not that you just did 3 like openings. You did a massive amount of box openings in those 3 time slots, and those time slots went over hours.
100%.
Right? Yep.
Yeah. So that first night we did, I mean, shoot, I was probably live for, we rated Zard Exchange around 10, and we went live at 5:30 to interview and to hang out, to check out all the stuff going on, people online getting their product. We live streamed the speakers. So we live streamed Brian, Jeff French, and Gabe. And then at about 6:30, it was actually pretty impressive. I fully expected Jeff to go a little longer.
And again, Jeff
we broke for 3.5 hours.
He's the founder.
Yes.
Jeff
French is the owner and founder. That's exactly right. Brian Tinsman being the lead designer. And holy wow. I'm so glad I went live when I did, so that I caught them speaking about it. It was awesome. It was just genuinely awesome, and learning more.
I want to make sure
3.5 hours first night.
I want to make sure even if you wonder about what breaking is, or you don't want to break, but you want to just watch, you get people that are actually experts from the company. You also get alpha. I want to explain this. This happened on one of your streams. You actually got a gentleman named Eric, who actually is the head of a lot of stuff at Wonders, and he came on and explained Emma. So if you look at Emma, this is what he said. If you look at Emma, it says common on it. And you're like, why is Emma so freaking expensive and popular if it's a common card? There must be lots of them out there. And what he said was the printer got confused because of the numbering sequence on Emma was, I forget the number of the card, but it's a special number that means something, like 238. And so that numbering sequence was of her common cards. So the printer got confused and put common on it, when actually it's a mythic. And so it actually only has the printing, or the very limited printing that mythics have. So it says common, but because of the numbering, but the numbering is a special meaning within the set for Emma, and it's really a mythic, and so it has limited number like the mythics do. So that's the backstory that he did, that Eric did on the Caster Society show when they were breaking. So anyone that was just watching that got that alpha news, and it was really cool to hear that.
Oh, that's great. I missed that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, right?
I love that Eric pops in and hangs out. I'm really glad that when he and Chris met, they hit it off, because he's been He's been so helpful. I've learned enormous amounts of information about pretty much all of Blockback's products from Eric and all the team members that will pop in and hang out. Even Jeff popped in once and leaked some super exclusive info. He actually leaked the Magic Johnson. I know this is unrelated, but he leaked a hero release for their game Bo Jackson Battle Arena live on our stream. Just at a little bit of, what was it? A little bit of, I don't know, friendly banter from Chris at the time because he was live with us.
And it was, let me ask you, I'm sorry to interrupt. I want to ask you one more question. I know time's a little bit. I want to get to one other thing, and then I'll let Tex and Jen take over because I talk a lot. I don't know if you know.
Me too. It's okay. I do too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your job's to talk, and God knows you do a lot of it.
I sure do.
Can you tell me about
And you're good at it.
Yeah.
Oh,
can you tell me about the one time that you bled all over the cards live on stream?
You were watching that one? You were watching that one?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so I have pretty rough seasonal allergies.
Oh, wait, you fell down the stairs and broke your arm, didn't you once, just walking down the stairs?
You know what's funny? I was actually supposed to go live 2 minutes before that happened. I was supposed to go live for a new indie TCG.
Wait, and you couldn't go live?
I did. I went live for 30 minutes with a broken hand.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, come on.
I sure did. And then the adrenaline wore off.
Blood.
No, the blood. Let's back to the blood. I'll get my nose will just, it's like instantly dry out when, depending on the temperature change and season. So like if we had a lot of cold weather and then we got some really warm weather, everything fucking bloomed. And this warehouse, oh man. So if anybody leaves the door open, it's over. The pollen is just trapped inside the building. And I just started having a little nosebleed, and I was like, man, I must have a little runny nose. I went to, give it the old one pass wipe, and then I go to reach for cards, and there's this streak of blood across my finger. And I'm just like, oh God. And of course you were watching. Of course, why would you have been watching? This is the same guy. He has you at a disadvantage. He's been to this location. He actually took a tour here, and I got to be a part of it. It was awesome. And we were talking and chatting downstairs in the middle of the room, and I was like, it was pretty warm. It was fairly warm that day. And they were like, really hoping the whole building would have been climate controlled. And they're like, yeah, we do have climate controlled rooms for a special product. We have multiple climate controlled areas. And I was like, yeah, because in the mezzanine, it gets like 120 degrees up there in the summer. I'm still getting shit from Chris and Dan about that meeting because everyone just went quiet after I said that. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, that's just what happens. And Chris just looked at me. He just looked. It was so bad.
Yeah. So I visited their place once, and it was really interesting. He really screwed the pooch and said something that he shouldn't have, and it was very exaggerated, and it made their place sound bad. He still gets shit for it.
It did. It doesn't actually, obviously.
Let's get back to the blood, though. So you're bleeding all over these cards live on camera. It was crazy.
I don't know how I have a job.
All right.
Did you have someone to step in for you? What happened?
For just a second. Yeah, I did. I just walked away. I was like, oh, be right back. And I thought JP would have gotten up and gone over there, but he was just I guess he was just chatting from his seat right next to me.
He was eating a sandwich or something. He's like, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. But before we close it out and go for final thoughts, the one other thing I wanted to touch base on is the one big auction, in addition to the stone foils that you did, was the orbital box.
The
one of one.
The one, yeah.
It was Hawkewind.
He has it. The Hawkewind orbital box.
Yes.
In the 120-degree room right now, just withering.
Yeah, it's just laying on the floor under a desk
with the pollen.
I thought you would ask.
They'll see it.
He's showing us the temperature.
The thermostat? Is it nice? Oh, a nice 69 in there.
69 degrees.
Oh, how appropriate.
You guys are killing it.
Yeah, instead of the claw, you just
They're in there
How many
breaking.
secret passages?
All right. Ta-da.
Oh,
There
oh.
it is.
Our beloved Chris picked this up for us live on our
One
own
of
stream.
one Thalwind. Oh, hey.
Whoa.
He
Whoa.
fought for this. He fought hard for this.
He
No,
right
I
here.
don't
And
think
guess what we got?
I don't think he fought hard enough, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't.
How
He
much?
actually last night we picked up made a trade with Eric actually for the I think it's Marinus of the Thalwind. Picked up a formless mythic Marinus to go with that.
Really?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got
Cool.
a nice little cheeky icon of the Thalwind to go right alongside that beautiful Thalwind box. It's so sick. I love it so much.
That's very cool. So how much, if you don't mind saying how much, I know people can look back, but he got a steal on that box. How much did
He
he pay
actually
for it?
did. His reserve, I'll tell you what his reserve, because he put a max bid reserve
Yeah.
on it, was
He told me.
7.5K.
Yeah.
He put a
Yeah.
reserve of 7.5K on this box. He managed to walk away with it for $35.50. No coupon, no discount. $3,550 for the one of one Thalwind box. And Thalwind is not a weak orbital. And it is also one of the coolest aesthetics. It's an planet encased in an ocean. I mean, like that's pretty legit. Now, I will say I do anticipate the Heliosynth box going for more if it ever does see market, but I don't know if it would. I really don't. I know that here, let me give you a quick what I like to say dark comp. I have it on multiple. I have multiple confirmations of this happening. Jeff French actually made B Jamps an offer on both of his one of one boxes. He made an offer 10 grand for both, and B Jamps turned it down handedly.
Yeah.
No, Ben doesn't have the one-on-ones. BP Fergo has the two one-on-ones.
Oh, it's BP. Sorry, I didn't say BJ. I said BJ.
Yeah,
it's
Fergo
BP
has
Ferg. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
And Bermuda shorts every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got two, and that sucker pulled two.
Yeah.
What? That's insane. But yeah, he turned down 10K for both. Chris actually went and countered 12.
Wow.
Saturday night, I think it was. And BP turned him down as well. And then I, just in passing, after Chris told me both stories, and then I got it from Jeff as well. Jeff was like, "Yeah," he said no. And I was like, "Would you take 8 a piece?" And he was like, "I might consider it, maybe." Yeah. So just to give a point of reference of how fortunate, the only reason this got the comp that it did, right? It was an impromptu, spur of the moment. Ryder was like, "Let's go. Let's see what happens." Ryder Tinsman opted to do this and was like, "I just want to know. I want us to have a comp out in the wild." Otherwise, I think if that sat on eBay, it would more than double for sure. It was a 5-minute auction. So as soon as the first bid is made, there is no reserve. There is no canceling on whatnot. You can't just say, "Oh, it didn't go for enough. I'm just going to cancel your auction." It doesn't work like that. When it sells, it sells. It's sold. Right. So bear that in mind before you go on. Buyers and sellers beware alike. But I mean, obviously, Chris picked it up, and I was over the moon. I was like, I really didn't think he would win it. I didn't think they would let him take it. I didn't think Galileo would let him take it. If I'm going to be honest, I thought Galileo for sure was going to just stomp all over him.
But what are you going to do with it? That's the one thing I've been wondering.
You hold it and sell it for 10 grand in a couple months. Double your money.
Just to give you a little peek into the window of the mental disease that we all have here. Chris was like, he looked at me while we're at the Airbnb still in Columbia. He was like, "We should rip it." And I was like, "No."
That's a degenerate.
Yeah. It's like, maybe we rip it. It's so ridiculous. I love it so much.
Dude, you'd get $500 for an empty box. I bet you that'd make up.
I bet you're right.
Yeah.
I bet you're right, because the sleeves on these boxes are gorgeous. This is not cheap material. Nothing about this product feels cheap in any way.
Look, your face is glowing from the reflection.
Yeah.
You look like you opened up the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly
Oh my
it.
God. That's so good. That's so funny that we actually watched that the night of the after this break on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh
We
God.
watched Pulp Fiction together. Yeah, it was great. That's such a good shout. It actually does. You're just looking at it like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
oh, we're
Great.
happy. We're happy. You know, it's like yeah, it was. It's going to be essentially a piece on stream. We're going to keep on stream for as long as we can,
Good call.
because it's just such a cool piece of Wonders and Block Packs history. Really,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is our little piece of genuinely awesome tabletop history. Yeah, I mean, there's
Yep.
no other way to describe
Yeah.
it. I keep repeating myself. I feel like, but yeah, it's incredible. And then of course, Chris Sunday rips. Did you guys hear? Did SubHub post in the Discord about it? I'm sure he did. Chris bought into a. He did. Chris is like he did. Chris bought into a break. He was like, I'm gonna get in on this break. I would love to. Yeah, I want the.
Yeah.
so
Now he's a villain.
Oh.
Yeah, now Chris is literally Dr. Evil at this point.
Yeah.
Because SubHub insisted Chris pick the box. There were 2 boxes left. SubHub wins spot 5. SubHub was like, I'm not picking whatever's left. And Chris is like, all right. So he gets the last spot, and Chris is like, SubHub, you have to pick. And SubHub was like, nope, you're picking. And so Chris, eeny, meeny, miny, mowed the last 2 boxes. And he picked. He did.
I know. That whole thing was weird.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mowed the last 2 boxes. He got the box. SubHub got his. And Chris rips the 1/1 Hydra.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my
and
God.
then had Bear sign it live on stream.
Yeah.
Woo!
Really?
Yeah. Bear was there for the break. He was there and had Bear sign it live.
Crazy.
So Sunday night, that stream, that's another cool thing about live streaming, is we had one of the art designers there with us. He was like, hey, can I come hang out with you guys stream? We're like, hell yeah, dude. Hope you know you're going to be working.
Yeah.
So
it's really
speaking of streaming, what is the schedule? Is there a schedule set for more Wonders?
That's actually getting cemented today. So what we're doing a long. I'm going to be streaming quite a bit this Friday. So Chris might show up to pop in and break as well. But we're going to be streaming. I'm thinking from the afternoon to the evening. Like we're going in. I'm probably going to start just after lunch, and then I'm going to go maybe 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Who knows? And we're just going to break. We're going to break. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have break prizes. We're going to be giving away packs the whole day, so that everybody new and coming in. You know, I see new faces win giveaways every single stream because we give away tons of packs every stream. So, and that's essentially the same thing we did with Bo Jackson's Battle Arena, right? We're going to give away packs. Yeah, we're going to hemorrhage money for a while, and we're totally fine with that because we want to evangelize and diversify, right? We want to get people in the game. We want to get people interested. And with Magic, it feels so good poaching Magic players. There's just something so satisfying to it for me. I've been a huge Hasbro hater for a long time now. I really have been. Just full disclosure. But yeah, so we're got a big stream there. This weekend, we're going to be doing some more BoBA. And then through the week, I'm going to be threading in at least 3 or 4 Wonder streams. And then next weekend is the Whatnot Card Show. And we're going to be doing Wonders and BoBA.
So question, are you going to do a Dragon Box?
Yes, assuming that we can actually acquire a Dragon Box. So we actually ripped our last 2 Sunday night. I want at least a few for the Whatnot Card Show next weekend. This Friday, I might not be able to get one for this Friday. We'll see. But I can tell you this.
If the price is right, I could always overnight you one.
I was going to say, I know someone who has quite a few.
Oh, really?
No. Actually, the one to talk to is
Jen.
right here.
Jen, you're holding a bunch of Dragon Boxes.
Oh my God, she has like what?
Just
421.
I do not have. What? No, I do not.
Well, you got to. Oh, he's memeing. He's memeing.
You got it 40.
Got it.
Left, right?
I was like, she's got 20% of the market.
Yeah, she does have like 40 some.
That's awesome. I think you might actually have more than B James has left, assuming
Dude.
he hasn't ripped any since Sunday.
Jen's gonna break them herself. Look at her.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jen, have you ripped your own stone foil? You have, right? You
Yes.
ripped which stone foil did you rip? I don't recall now.
Oh, see, you're the second person to ask me that, and I don't remember what it was. It wasn't one of mine, so I kind of.
Wait, did you rip
Oh.
the whale? Who ripped? Or no, that was B.
No, I
James.
didn't rip the whale.
That
I
was
ripped
BJ,
the
yeah.
the whimsy, cloak
Scary.
guy.
Oh.
No, that's good enough.
I forget.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
You got
Whimsy.
another one of those. You got another one of those dragon boxes for sure. For sure. Guaranteed. No, no temptation at all intended there. Just saying you definitely
no.
ripped your stone foils.
I'm actually doing good this side. Usually I can't, but
Mitch, I got a question. What would you like to see happen with Wonders right now? If you could wave your magic Wonders wand that you have stuck up your butt, what would you wave it?
Hold on one second.
He has pockets. He doesn't have to keep
I
it
know
there.
why. Again,
Okay.
There it is.
Oh,
I told you you
that's-
had it.
wow.
I would probably it's a war club. It's a war club. All right.
I'm more concerned about where you're keeping it.
So if I could wave my magic war club, I would see 2 more set releases minimum this year.
This
How
year.
many? Two?
I would see 2 more set releases.
Yep.
So
Really?
one around national, and then maybe one late fall, early winter. I know that sounds like a lot. They don't have to be full set releases. But I know the reason being is because I want Wonders to compete and with the big 3. I want Wonders to stay relevant. I don't want anyone to forget the hype, forget the feelings, forget the excitement that everyone is still reeling on right now. I'm desperate for it to continue, and that's not from a business standpoint. Obviously, business-wise, I'd love for the hype to never end. But personally, I am so stoked for this game, and the worst thing I think that could happen is the hype train slows down. Is essentially, and it's really easy to let that happen coming off of an event so big and high impact as the Shattering, right? It's the first really, it's their breakout. And those are so important. And I think they had a great one. They had a great breakout. But when's the next Shattering? Because I want to book my tickets now. You know what I mean? Literally. The day after.
October.
Boom.
Yeah.
There it is.
October.
So there's the fall October. And that's the new set, right?
Yes.
yes.
Perfect. Okay. I'll settle for one set. I'll settle for a second set.
Maybe we can get 3 sets next year.
Did you know that
Man,
Tex Hooper
100%.
owns a bar and he could have a backyard bar one? We could throw one on there.
Yeah.
Why not?
Tex, where's your bar?
Syracuse, New York. Come on up.
I was gonna say you
Oh,
ain't
that's
doing it in
cool.
October.
Yeah. Well, no, it's still actually October would be perfect time to do it.
Whatever. Your place
Not
is
backyard,
nice.
not outside.
Yeah,
Gotta
outside.
It's still
Syracuse.
nice in October.
Yeah,
It's
but
How
why
cold
don't
is
you
it in
throw some
October up
together,
there?
Tex? Seriously,
Huh?
promote your bar. Throw one at your bar.
Yeah, I'd love to
100%.
throw one at my bar. Yeah.
I want to stream from your bar.
Let's
There you
I want
go.
to stream from your
Let's
bar.
get up here. Let's
All right.
let's work something out. Let's
So in
figure it out.
June, we're going to have
Oh.
one at Tex Hooper's bar. That's going to be an event.
We can have a Shattering North.
There you go.
We can have the Shattering
The
in
North-
South
the
Carolina.
North
We can have the
Shattering.
Northern- yeah.
And North Chat.
The
That's
Northern
awesome.
Shattering.
We definitely need
Yeah.
one to happen in Austin. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I know.
absolutely.
Seriously.
We need to make it happen in Austin. Brian's here.
Brian,
that's,
yeah.
That's big.
I need an
The
The
excuse to go
Tinsman
to
clan is present.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
Well, thank-
one last thing, Mitch, before we go. You do a really good Australian accent. I know there's an Australian guy at your place. You do a
Yeah.
horrible accent in British and Kiwi, any others, because it sounds Australian. Do not do any
it
other
always
accent,
does.
please.
It always does. I can't escape the Aussie.
Yeah, stop
It's like,
doing
good
it
on you,
your
mate.
stream.
No
Just do
worries.
that. Yeah, please.
All
How
right,
you
well,
going?
Yeah.
How you going?
thank you guys very much for taking the time to join us today and talk everything Wonders. Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see all of the streams and breaks that are coming up from you, Mitch, and the cardio crew. And Hawkewind, we're going to come back in a couple months and revisit your pricing targets and see how well you did.
Oh, I know
I
I
love
did
it.
well. I know.
Confidence. That's such a
Yes.
big part of the market, guys. We need more. We need more Hawkwinds in the market. We need more
We do.
confidence.
Oh no, we don't need more.
You can never
Hawkwind
have
ever,
too much.
ever. No, one is surely more than enough. What?
All righty. Well,
So,
this was awesome.
yeah.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Hawkwind. Mitch, we got to do this again. Maybe in a
Yeah.
week or two we can get you back
Yep.
out for an update on how the
Yep.
breaking's going and
Yeah.
how the momentum's
Let's
going.
do it.
and
Let's
everything.
do it.
All
You
right.
guys just text me a time and I'll get there for you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you on the next Wonders Wealth.
Bye. See you,
Bye.
Jen.
Bye, Dax.
Bye.